There's been some updated developments in the Fort Worth officer that illegally arrested a woman and her two daughters when he was called by the woman in order to make a complaint against a neighbor who choked her son. Here's the local news portion of that video, and then I'm going to give you the News One portion of the Chief of Police's response to the incident.
This officer seen in a controversial arrest video is suspended for 10 days without pay.
He also faces some retraining. Some people think that is less than what Officer William Martin deserves. Jacqueline Craig, the woman he arrested, was at a rally last night. Her lawyer says the decision damages the relationship between Fort Worth police and the black community in Fort Worth.
Time out. We're fed up and we ain't taking it no more.
A week's vacation
Yes, sir.
is not sufficient punishment
Yes, sir.
for what happened to this family.
Craig called police a couple of weeks ago reporting her neighbor had grabbed her son by the throat. It spiraled out of control when the veteran officer arrived on the scene. Chief Joel Fitzgerald is the one who decided the punishment. He says the officer is sorry.
Realized that his attitude was not proper, understood that there was a deficiency in the delivery of service that happened that day.
This officer was a veteran officer who had all the training that he needed, and he decided to ignore that training.
A grand jury will review the entire case from top to bottom and decide if Craig, her daughters, the neighbor, or the officer, any, all, none of the above, should face charges. City of Dallas again struggling to get in.
All right, so okay, that's the local coverage on it. Now, number one, the City of Dallas, the prosecutor hasn't made a decision on whether the charges should be dropped in those three women after it was clear that the officer escalated the situation and there was no need for any type of arrest. At the minimum, even if he made a decision that he wasn't going to go after the neighbor, he should have then basically just walked away, okay? But he didn't. So that's number one. So this is not a training issue because, quote unquote, this is a veteran police officer, okay? Training is not needed here. Common sense is needed here. A review of what this guy's racial points of view are versus black people, yeah, that's needed here. This guy needs a major attitude adjustment. But again, the neighbor has not been arrested. The DA has not made a decision on his arrest. And basically, he's ignoring or has ignored or has not come to a decision thus far on going forward with arresting the neighbor who, again, admitted to the officer, okay, that he had in fact choked the son because the son had littered on his lawn. So there was an admission of guilt there. Number two, the officer basically questioned the parenting skills of the woman. Number three, he escalated the situation. Number four, he arrested the daughter who was clearly trying not to get involved with him, but seeing that the situation was escalated, was trying to move her mother out of harm's way. And number four, he then in turn arrested the daughter who was only videotaping the situation. Number five, on the daughter who wasn't videotaping, a 15-year-old, he physically abused her. He kicked her. So that's the local take on this. Now I'm going to give you the News One take on this.
Picking up there again, so start from the top, or Jazz, we can answer as well. Are you going to file a civil lawsuit against this officer in the Fort Worth Police Department?
Well, the first steps that we're going to take, number one, is the officer is actually appealing the decision. Okay, the first issue is that the officer is actually appealing the decision. So we're going to have to deal with his appeal. Additionally, the chief mentioned that he turned the entire file over to the district attorney's office which is Sharon Wilson. And so we still are fighting against the fact that our clients still have charges pending against them. Obviously, the grand jury will make a decision about whether or not the neighbor will actually finally be arrested, in addition to the fact that the officer did hit the 15-year-old, which is a felony. And so we are hoping that the grand jury will proceed with felony charges against the officer as well as the neighbor and let go of the charges against our clients. After that, we will see where we want to go.
All right then, Jasmine and Lee, we sure appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to our panel here real quick. Do you believe the officer is 10 days suspension fair, or should he have been fired?
This is outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. What we witnessed was an assault. Those women were attacked. The actual perpetrator of the crime, which caused the interaction, was never arrested. And the fact that this man has not been charged with anything and has just been given a 10-day, basically unpaid, I guess we should be happy that it's unpaid vacation, is insulting. It's absolutely insulting. It is nowhere near what's necessary in order to prevent future actions like this. And when the chief says, oh, he was contrite, we see the formula here, right? We see the formula whether or not someone is charged. The formula is white man tears. You do something that you're not supposed to do that can actually result in someone actually dying or being assaulted, as in this situation, and then all of a sudden you say, oh my God, I'm sorry, and then everything's okay. You know, we know as African Americans we don't get second chances, and I'm tired of this.
Angela?
I mean, hey, police have to be held accountable just like doctors. We can't just say, oh, there's a mistake, oops, I got it wrong. And the damaging part about this for our young people is they keep seeing these images where it's not balanced. So had the color been switched, I mean, we consistently see that the end result would be different.
And this is the reason why having someone like Jeff Sessions as the Attorney General is going to be problematic, because when you try to do independent investigations, you're not going to have somebody at the top saying we need to change the policies and practices.
All right, folks, coming up next on News One Now, a jury will begin deliberating the fate of...
All right, so that pretty much is the update. The fact that this officer feels like he was wrong and he's appealing his 10-day suspension, this guy should have been jumping up and down. That's all he got. And in my opinion, he actually should have either been suspended for a longer period of time, like 30 days, unpaid, or he should have been fired. Okay? If you don't believe that, he didn't cause serious bodily harm, which I guess he hyperextended the young girl's shoulder, and that is bodily harm, but that's, not death, and it's not something that requires surgery or anything else, more than likely, that a long suspension would have been warranted given all the facts. And if you're one of the extremists, then you say, yeah, this guy was just like totally ridiculous and he needed to be fired. But that's where we are right now. So again, now we got to wait and see what the outcome is going to be regarding his suspension appeal. And we also need to see what the district attorney is going to do regarding the potential assault charges that would be filed against him, and also the assault charges that the neighbor should be facing for choking the 7-year-old. Stay tuned.